Hey everyone, Amy here. I have some pictures. You can see that I patterned the background of this. I did take video of that, but unfortunately I got a text from my husband, and apparently when I get a text it means stop recording immediately, and I didn't notice. So I didn't see that it wasn't recording. So I patterned this with these polka dots from Perfectly Imperfect, and I just random stamped them. Yeah, it's kind of self-explanatory. Hopefully you can figure that out. Now, these pictures were done on the Canon Selfie with a border, and I don't want to repeat this border, so I'm going to overlap them like that. If you wonder how I managed to do two pictures on one on the Canon Selfie app, watch at the end of this video. I'll link another video and check that one out, because that one will show you how to use the Canon Selfie. I made a Canon Selfie video. So sorry about that. I got a little distracted. It's hard to do two things at once. A little ADHD over here. Okay, I had thought about trimming these pictures in orange, because I am going to use some orange on this layout, but in the end I decided to go with black. So I wanted to put this one up here and kind of overlap some of this sky up here. And then I wanted to challenge myself with this layout to only use cardstock. So I'm going to use orange and pine, pardon me, and sage. So this is sage. So these are going to be my three colors, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do a treatment to them to make them look like patterned paper. But I'm challenging myself to only use cardstock on this particular layout. I'm starting here with the sage piece of paper. I actually lost the video, as I said before, that had this portion of me stamping, so I'm doing it on the back of the piece that I'm planning to use. So this is the lighter side, but I'm just giving you an idea of how I did it. So I random stamped this leaf, and the reason I used this leaf set was because it was on sale, but it is sold out. So you'd have to use a different leaf set, which I will link on an alternative down below. We do have other ones. And then I random stamped in Paprika on top with the little words that came with a recent stamp set, but I will link a similar one that we have that's current. I felt like this one really turned out like a patterned piece of paper. It looked pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with the way it combines the colors that I'm using. Next, I used the pine green, and once again, I'll show you on the back of the piece. I random stamped this Life's a Hoot circle, and the best way to pick these circles up is to just lay them on your surface and then pick them up with the block, because they're very tiny. So they kind of twist if you try to set them on there properly. I used black ink, and I kind of interlocked two in several spots, and then I filled in with one. Then I used a different stamp from the same set with espresso ink and stamped that over top, and inked around the edges in espresso, as I have been doing with all of the flags that I've been making, or banners. When you random stamp, you want to make sure you go off the edges, because that way it looks like it's really been cut out of a piece of paper. Now I'll bring in the orange. This is an old orange color of Sunset, and I've random stamped it with a texture stamp. So those are the three colors together. Okay, I have everything glued, like these ones all glued down. I decided to bring my son over here because he's looking that way, and I didn't want him looking too much out of the layout, but I can't have him on this side, so he's just gonna have to be there. But if he's right here, I don't know, it doesn't look great when they're looking out of the layout. I missed some here, but we'll see. I was thinking about putting this here. I can do some quick stamping to fix that up. So one tip I have, I'll just show you, is this one has to be dovetailed yet. So when I dovetail, I just cut up into the center a little ways. I don't go too high because I don't like a really deep dovetail, but if you want a deeper one, you're gonna go higher. I like them to be kind of shallow. That's just what I like. I don't know why. Just my preference. There we go. So a handy way to do this is and I could do it opposite of that side just for a difference. If you put this down on here, then you kind of have it all as one and you can move it as one. So say I wanted to put it here or here, it would look okay this way. It's actually quite crooked. Let's straighten that up a bit. That was better. I don't love the writing going the wrong way, so I decided not to do that. I could just do this here. This is actually okay, and it can go onto the sky there a little bit. So I just need to find that little polka dot, and then I'm just gonna finish this off here. Oh, I don't want to go onto there. It's really forgiving because it's so tone on tone. You don't see it much, but it just makes this paper look a little more interesting. Well, why not do it all? I'm so close, may as well. There, good enough. Like that. And then I'm gonna add happy. Now I'm hoping this will work, even though it's on. And I cut those peas down a little because I want to tuck this up underneath and they were kind of interfering a lot. I mean, something like that. I think that's okay. Oh, I'm over my dog's face. So that's not okay. But I can come up, way up. There we go. Could be over the wood a little bit. My husband loves chopping wood. The other option would be to go here. Then it's in my husband's face. That's all right, I guess. So if I go up that high, then I kind of want to do it like this. So I finally got a composition I liked for the title and I glued it down with my Barely Art glue. If you Google Barely Art glue, you can find it on Amazon. It is quite expensive, but it does have a nice precision tip and it doesn't dry out as long as you put that pin in there. Now I prepared all these little embellishments beforehand and I had done so thinking that this stamp set, this leaf stamp set was on sale, but unfortunately it sold out so fast because it was so affordable. So it's not on the sale, it's not available anymore, but there are other leaf stamp sets that I will link down below that would work as well. And also, these circles are called adventure badges, and the RV there yet is from that set as well. And if it is still available, I think it is, I will link it down below if it is though. The word happy and the little sprigs are from my stash, and the word campers is the bold marker alphabet, which is still available, and I will also link it down below. I believe it might be retiring, and adventure badges I think are retiring as well. So if you want any of those stamps, you'd have to get them right away. And you can do that by clicking on the links. You can click any link for any item and it'll take you directly to my shopping page. And I get some of the proceeds of those items if you buy anything from there. So that is very helpful to me to continue making videos. I like to repeat the components of each cluster so that the layout has some continuity, and I like the way it looks when the colors are all mixed in each embellishment cluster. I remember when my boys were small, they wore a lot of orange, this sunset color, and so I bought a whole pack of it when it retired as a color, and I didn't end up using as much as I thought I would use, because you usually kind of use orange in small touches, or at least I do, because it's quite a bright color. But the Paprika ink goes really well with it for when I was patterning my own paper, even though the Paprika is kind of a deeper rust color and this orange is quite a bit brighter. Though I did pattern it with espresso ink, and I also patterned or inked up that word happy a little bit with some espresso, so it wouldn't be quite so bright. It just kind of tones it down a little bit. That background paper is called Craft, and I also have a whole pack of that I want to use up. So this has been a really fun layout for me, because I've been using up some of the things that are in my stash and using some of the stamps in my stash, which is great, because if you buy things, you want to use them, of course. So once I get all these little bits and pieces glued down, and I often weigh them down with a block because that really holds them nice and tight, then I need to cut off the excess of the flags that's sticking kind of above the paper. So I just flip it over and trim off that with my scissors. You could do it with your paper trimmer as well. And once I've done that, I add a few of the little dots, and then the layout is pretty well done, and I will give you a close-up. So I want to thank you so much for stopping by my channel and spending time watching my channel. If you liked what you saw today, I would love it if you would subscribe, and also give me that big thumbs up and hit that bell icon so you get notified when I post new videos. I appreciate so much everyone who hits that like and helps me get ahead on my YouTube channel, and I hope that you will stop by again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.